We're dreaming of reaching our first 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe and be the first to discover new stories every day. She was laughing with her friends in the kitchen, holding a piece of paper like it was a damn stand-up set. Top mistakes of my engineer, she said, waving it around like a trophy. Each line she read felt like a jab right in the ribs. They were all laughing. Dasha clapped her hands. Katia said, "Oh, that's brutal." Laura just kept going, line after line, like it was some comedy skit. My flaws. My habits. My clothes. My damn silence. I was standing there, still wearing my boots from the job site, just listening. And at some point, something clicked. I walked up, slammed my hand on the table. Not to scare anyone, just to shut the circus down. Everything stopped. I looked at her and... But that's not where it started. You ever go into a place for something quick, oil change, haircut, sandwich, and walk out feeling like you just got hit with a freight train? That's how I met Laura. I'd been working a site across town, new development going up near the river. Middle of summer, hot as hell, sweating through my shirt, crawling through concrete and ductwork. I looked like I fell out of a chimney. Pulled up to a little salon next to a gas station. Figured I'd get a quick cut, maybe rinse some of the dust out of my neck. She was there, behind the chair, cutting some guy's hair, talking his ear off. Skinny, bright eyes, hair up in a bun, had this laugh like she didn't care who was listening. Not annoying, just full of energy. Alive. I remember thinking, she's got more spark in 5 seconds than I've got in a whole month. She cut my hair that day. Talked the whole time. About the weather, her dog, some shampoo she hated, some influencer she liked. I barely said a word, but it didn't matter. She was doing enough talking for both of us. I just nodded, smiled a bit. Paid her, left, didn't think too much of it. But I came back 2 weeks later. Then again. Third time, she asked if I wanted to grab coffee sometime. Just like that. No games. I liked that about her. She was direct. We ended up in some riverside cafe, sitting on wobbly plastic chairs, drinking burnt espresso. She told me about how she hated working for other people, how she wanted her own place, how she was sick of old ladies telling her how to do her job. I listened. I'm good at that. Didn't say much, but I was thinking, this girl's got guts. We started seeing each other after that. I'd pick her up after work, take her out for late dinners, or sit in the truck and talk. She'd swing her feet on the dashboard like a kid. And when she laughed, it felt like someone cracked a window in a stuffy room. 6 months in, I told her to move in with me. I had a small apartment back then, nothing fancy, but it was mine. Big window in the living room, decent little kitchen, old couch that still had my shape in it from the years. I said, "Look, you don't have to keep doing cuts if you don't want. I make enough for both of us." She looked at me like I offered her a lottery ticket. "You serious?" she asked. I nodded. She hugged me so hard my ribs popped. Back then, I thought it was gratitude. Now I'm not so sure. At first, it was great. Like something out of a commercial. I'd come home from sites, filthy, dead tired, and she'd be there with dinner. Sometimes pasta from a jar, sometimes chicken she learned to roast. Didn't matter. It was warm, it was effort. I appreciated it. She left little notes in my lunch. "Eat me, Mr. Engineer," or "This sandwich cost 75 cents, and my love." I'd grin like an idiot and stick them in my glove box. One's still there, I think. Nights were quiet. We'd watch whatever show she picked. She loved comedies, stuff with laugh tracks and over-the-top drama. I'd sit with my laptop, reviewing pipe diagrams, and she'd lay her head on my shoulder and mumble about her day. Her voice became background noise I actually liked. Peaceful, like having a fireplace on, even when it's not cold. We had a routine. Saturdays, errands and junk food. Sundays, long drives, coffee in paper cups, music from my teenage years. She couldn't remember lyrics to save her life, but she'd sing anyway, full volume. Off key. It was funny. I liked it. I really did. But little things started creeping in. First, she stopped meeting me at the door. Then, dinners became, I forgot, grab something on the way. No big deal, right? People get tired. But then came the comments. "You're always talking about pipes and boilers." At first, it was playful. Then sharper. "Do you ever think about anything else?" One night, she looked at me and said, "I feel like I live with a toolbox." I laughed. At the time, thought it was just her being dramatic. She's got a flair for that. But it stuck with me. Then came her friend Dasha. Dasha was the type you notice even if you don't want to. Sharp face, eyes like she's always sizing you up, makeup done to kill. The kind of woman who thrives on knowing more than she lets on. She was in our house more than I liked. Brought wine, pastries, loud stories. They'd sit in the kitchen and gossip for hours. I didn't mind, gave me time to catch up on work. But something about Dasha always felt off. She looked at me like I was a background prop. Like Laura was slumming it with me. I remember coming home late one night, had a supply delay on a job, stuck welding pipes till 10. Walked into the kitchen and they were both giggling over Laura's phone. I asked what was so funny. Dasha said, "We were just talking about your boots, Carl." I looked down. Steel toe, covered in dust, stained from a coolant leak. "They're comfortable," I muttered. Laura laughed. "Comfortable, but not exactly sexy." Dasha added, "You need something sleeker, Mr. Engineer. You're doing well now, right?" I didn't say anything, just nodded and went to wash up. Their laughter followed me to the bathroom like a bad smell. The next day, I tried to talk to her. "Those jokes yesterday kinda hit below the belt," I said. She rolled her eyes. "You're too sensitive. It's just Dasha being Dasha. Relax." I nodded, but something had shifted. I started feeling like a guest in my own apartment. More digs came. "Carl, you snore like a truck. Do you ever try new clothes? You always get the same coffee. Are you allergic to variety? Always in front of someone else. Always with a laugh. Always with me trying to laugh along like it didn't burn." And I kept thinking, I work all day. I keep the lights on. I buy the groceries, pay the rent, pay for her shampoo and avocado toast and Netflix. I never asked her for a damn thing except maybe some peace when I got home. One Sunday, we were driving to a brunch spot she liked. She turned the music down and asked, "Do you ever think you're boring?" I blinked. "What? I mean, you're solid, sure. Reliable. But do you ever try to surprise me?" "What do you mean?" "I don't know. Do something spontaneous. Like a trip. Or a picnic. Or, I don't know, something. I wake up at 6 to crawl through crawl spaces and dig trench lines," I said. "That's about as spontaneous as it gets." She didn't laugh. Later that night, I found her scrolling her phone, smirking at something. I glanced over. Dasha again. Message said, "He still wears those jeans? Girl, he's a walking Home Depot ad." I didn't say a word. Just went to bed. After that brunch ride, something shifted. Maybe not all at once, but like when a pipe starts to vibrate. You know a leak's coming, even if it ain't here yet. She started pulling away in little ways. Not slamming doors or yelling. That would have been easier, honestly. It was more like indifference. I'd come home after 12 hours standing in wet concrete, and she wouldn't even look up from her phone. "Dinner? I'm not hungry, already ate." I'd open the fridge and find half a salad and an empty yogurt cup. I stopped asking. Then it was the comments. Always around people, especially her friends. At first, I thought maybe I was just imagining it, reading too much into things. But no, it got worse. One night we had Dasha and another friend over. Katia, I think her name was. Blonde, always overdressed for a casual night in, like she was auditioning for a reality show. I had just made dinner. Not gourmet, but decent. Pasta with sausage, garlic bread. They sat down and Laura said, loud enough for everyone, "Carl's specialty. One-pan wonders. I worked all day special." They all laughed. I forced a smile, sat down, chewed my food in silence. Dasha topped off her wine and leaned toward Laura. "You know, you should make a cookbook. Call it Meals by Men Who Think Salt is a Spice." They lost it. That was the night I started eating in the garage. I'd come home, shower, reheat whatever leftovers were around, take it out to the truck, and eat sitting on the tailgate. Quiet. Cold or hot, didn't matter. Just no noise, no fake laughter. Sometimes I didn't eat at all. Just sat there, scrolling through supplier invoices or zoning maps, trying not to think. And every time I'd walk back inside, I'd hear them. Either Laura on the phone or with her friends, giggling about something, always with that tone. That tone like I was some project gone wrong. One weekend, I was deep into a new build, big client, full HVAC redesign in an older building. A lot of planning, a lot of late nights. I had sketches laid out all over the kitchen table. Laura came in, looked at the mess, and said, "You gonna clean that up? Or is this dinner now?" I looked at her, said, "I'll clean it when I'm done." She scoffed, grabbed her purse, and left without another word. She came back late, smelling like someone else's cologne. I didn't say a word. I wasn't even angry, just numb. Next morning she acted like nothing happened. I cooked breakfast, poured 2 coffees, and she took hers without saying thanks. Just stared at her phone and asked, "Can you make sure to pick up more oat milk? Regular milk makes me feel gross." I nodded. "No, good morning. No, how'd you sleep?" Just more demands. I started noticing she wasn't contributing. At all. She hadn't worked in almost a year. I told her she didn't have to. I was fine covering us. But I didn't mean forever. She didn't clean, didn't cook, didn't shop. Just lounged in pajamas till noon and posted makeup tutorials or selfies with captions like, "Manifesting better energy." One time I saw her post, "Strong women build empires." She took that photo in my kitchen, using my light, on my time. I guess I kept hoping she'd snap out of it. Maybe find a purpose again. A job. A goal. Hell, even a hobby. But instead, she doubled down on treating me like a walking wallet with a hammer. Then came the list. I got home early that day. Job wrapped quicker than expected. Sun was still out. I remember thinking, maybe we'll go grab dinner, just the two of us. Talk. Walked in the front door and heard them laughing. Loud. Voices I recognized. Laura, Dasha, and Katia. Kitchen lights were on. Wine open. Chips everywhere. Like some college dorm scene. Laura was holding a sheet of paper. Top mistakes of my engineer, she said, giggling. Dasha howled. Read it, read it. Laura cleared her throat. Did this fake announcer voice. Number 1. He doesn't know how to have a real conversation. Only pipes and fittings. They laughed. Number 2. He wears the same jeans until they develop a personality. More laughter. Number 3. His idea of romance is buying a new shower head. At that point, I stepped into the doorway. They didn't see me at first. Laura kept reading. Number 4. He falls asleep 5 minutes into every movie. Number 5. He doesn't have abs. Katia snorted into her wine glass. Then Laura saw me. She blinked. Oh hey babe. Want to hear the rest? I didn't say anything. Just looked at her. Looked at that damn paper. Looked at the people sitting at my table, drinking my wine, laughing at me in my own home. Then I walked forward. Put both hands on the table. Not hard. Just enough to make the glasses rattle. The laughter stopped. You're done, I said, quiet but clear. Laura blinked. What? You don't live here anymore. Dasha looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. Whoa, Carl, come on. It's just jokes. I turned to her. No, it's disrespect. This is my place. I built this. Paid for everything in here. The wine, the chairs, the walls, all of it. I work my hands raw to keep this going. And you? I looked at Laura. You sit here and make lists about how I'm not fun enough for you? You want jokes? Go get a job and pay your own bills. She stood up. Are you serious right now? I nodded. Dead serious. Pack your stuff. Party's over. Katia mumbled something about calling a cab. Dasha opened her mouth again, but I held up a hand. Don't. Not a word. All of you out. Now. Laura crossed her arms. You can't kick me out. This is my home too. I looked around. Name one thing in here you paid for. 1. Silence. I waited. She said nothing. I turned and walked into the bedroom. Closed the door. Sat on the bed. For the first time in months, it was quiet. Still. No fake laughs. No background noise. Just me. My boots still on, hands resting on my knees. Breathing deep. I didn't feel rage. Or grief. I felt relief. Next morning, her things were still there. She hadn't left. She texted, "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. Another text. "You're really doing this?" Still nothing. Later that day, I packed up all her stuff. Clothes, makeup, hairdryer, framed prints with fake quotes about love. Put them in trash bags. Set them by the door. Sent her one last message. Everything that was yours, it's in bags. Everything else, never was. Then I changed the locks. That first week without her felt weird. Not empty. Not sad. Just strange. Like when you move a piece of heavy furniture and realize how much space it was taking. The living room looked bigger. The air felt lighter. The silence, it wasn't cold anymore. It was clean. Like I could breathe all the way down to my stomach for the first time in a year. She tried texting. Called once or twice. Can we talk? You overreacted. You seriously think I was being mean? Then came the guilt trip. I gave up my job for you. You made me depend on you. You're punishing me for having fun. I didn't answer any of it. I stopped her access to everything. Bank accounts, changed. Subscriptions, logged out. Streaming services, groceries. The Uber Eats account, she ran into the ground, gone. I took the car keys out of her purse before she left that night. She hadn't noticed. The car was in my name. Paid for, fueled, insured, all by me. She posted some crap online after a few days. Photos with Dasha, some selfies with captions like, "Freedom tastes better when you've been caged." Caged. I paid for her facials, her yoga classes, her eyelash extensions. She hadn't worked a single day since moving in. If that was a cage, I'd hate to see what freedom looked like. The guys on my crew noticed the change. First it was just, "You look less tired, boss." Then it was, "You doing something different?" Haircut. I laughed. Nah, just cleared out some clutter. I got back into my groove. Woke up early. Ate breakfast alone and liked it. Spent more time at the site. Cleaned out the garage. Installed a better lighting rig for my late-night planning sessions. Put up a small workbench. That space became mine again, not a dumping ground for sarcasm and judgment. I started buying real groceries again. Not just frozen stuff or takeout. Made chili from scratch one night. Tasted like a goddamn meal should taste. Earned. One evening I stood at the stove, sipping a beer, and caught myself smiling. Just smiling. No reason. No one around. No audience. Just me, garlic sizzling in the pan, and a quiet apartment. That's when it hit me. I hadn't been alone. I'd just been lonely in company. You know what that does to a man? Being next to someone who makes you feel small in your own home? It eats at you. Quietly. Day after day. Until one night you're eating on a cold truck tailgate and wondering how the hell it got this far. So no, I didn't miss her. I missed who I thought she was. That girl with the energy, the spark, the let's grab coffee by the river laugh. But that person? She was long gone. About 2 weeks later, I ran into someone who knew her. Guy named Randy. We'd worked together on a commercial site once. Saw him at the supply store. He said, "Hey man, saw Laura moved in with Dasha." That true? I raised an eyebrow. Didn't know we were making headlines. He chuckled. She's been making noise online. Lot of posts about new beginnings. Sounded like shots fired. I nodded. She always did love a spotlight. You good though? I looked him in the eye. Better than good. I could tell he didn't expect that answer. Few days after that, I got a text from her. Long one. Paragraph after paragraph. Started with, "I just want to explain." Then, "You made me feel small sometimes." Then, "I didn't mean to humiliate you." Then, "I was just frustrated." Then, "I didn't realize how much you did until you stopped doing it." I read it all. Then I stared at the screen. She wanted closure. Wanted to clear the air. Maybe hoped I'd say I forgave her. Maybe hoped I'd ask her to come back. Instead, I wrote one sentence. Some lessons only stick when they cost you everything. She didn't reply. Couple weeks passed. And then one morning, I saw her. I'd stopped by a local coffee shop after checking a boiler unit across the street. Walked in, ordered my usual, black coffee, no sugar, no syrupy crap. Turned around with my cup and there she was. Standing by the sugar station. Wearing some oversized coat and a look I hadn't seen before. Not angry, not smug. Just tired. She noticed me, paused, then stepped closer. "Hey," she said. I nodded. "Laura." She looked down at her cup, then back at me. "You look good." "Thanks. You really just moved on, huh?" I did what I had to. There was a pause. She fidgeted with the lid on her drink. "I messed up," she said quietly. I thought you were just being boring. But you were solid. You never left. You never let me fall." And I spat on that. I didn't say anything. She sighed. "Dasha kicked me out." That surprised me. I raised an eyebrow. She said I was mopey and ungrateful. Guess that makes two. Still, I stayed quiet. I tried to get back on my feet. But it's hard. I nodded. "It is." She looked up at me. "I'm sorry." "I know." Another pause. Then she asked, "Do you hate me?" I shook my head. "No. You ever think about what we had?" I looked her dead in the eyes. "What we had died the night you laughed at me with a list in your hand." She flinched. I wasn't cruel. Just honest. She swallowed, blinked fast. "I miss how safe I felt with you." I took a sip of coffee. She whispered, "Is there really no going back?" I put the cup down on the table between us. "You know what respect costs, Laura?" She nodded slowly. "It costs listening. Loyalty. Kindness when no one's watching. You didn't pay the price." She nodded again. A tear slid down her cheek. "I'll let you go," she said. "You already did." And with that, I turned and walked out. Didn't look back. Didn't need to. I haven't seen her since that day at the coffee shop. It's been about 5 months now. Life went on, like it always does. I didn't expect some grand moment of closure or cinematic ending. Just regular days. My place is quieter now. Cleaner. More mine. I moved some furniture around, replaced the couch, got rid of that ugly flower painting she insisted on hanging in the hallway. Donated a bunch of her throw pillows. You'd be surprised how much space 30 useless pillows take up. I bought a new coffee maker. A good one. Real steel, strong brew, none of that capsule junk. First time I used it, the smell filled the kitchen and I just stood there breathing it in. You know, it's funny. For a while, I thought I'd come out of this angry, bitter, resentful. But I'm not. What I feel is more like clarity. Like someone finally cleaned the damn windows and let the light in. I can see now, not just what she did, but what I let slide. All the moments I bit my tongue. All the times I laughed off being mocked. All the weekends I paid for, planned, drove us to, just to hear her say it wasn't enough. It wasn't about the wine, the jokes, or even that stupid list. It was the pattern, the erosion. You don't notice a leak right away. It starts with a small drip. Then it stains the drywall. Then the mold creeps in. By the time the ceiling caves in, it's too late to patch it. You have to rip it out and start fresh. That's what I did. She was the drip. I was the ceiling. I don't hate her. I really don't. Maybe that's what surprises me the most. I think she's lost. Insecure. Addicted to attention and validation. Thought love was about being entertained, like a show she subscribed to. But love isn't a performance. It's work. Quiet, hard, unglamorous work. It's taking out the trash when it's cold. It's fixing the same leaky sink twice because she didn't tell you the first time didn't hold. It's listening to her rant about something you don't care about because it matters to her. It's also knowing when you're no longer welcome. And when that day comes, when you realize the person across from you doesn't see you anymore, just some blurry outline they keep reshaping in their mind. You've got two choices. You can shrink yourself, twist, bend, try to become whatever version of you they wish existed. Or you can leave. I chose to leave. Not with shouting, not with doors slamming, just with a sentence and a steady voice. You don't live here anymore. Some people think that's harsh. Some might say I should have talked it through more, that I overreacted. Maybe. But let me ask you something. If a man builds a home, brick by brick, bolt by bolt, and someone walks in and starts laughing at the way he arranged his tools, or mocks the way he wipes his boots at the door, how long should he stay silent? How many times should he smile through disrespect before he's allowed to say, no more? Because I gave chances. More than I should have. She just thought I never would walk away. That was her mistake. Now I wake up in a place that doesn't echo with someone else's opinions. I work with focus again. I come home, and there's no tension in the air, no passive-aggressive sighs, no thinly veiled insults. I cook for myself. Eat when I want. Sleep when I want. My space, my rules. Freedom's not loud. It's not flashy. It's quiet mornings and full cabinets. It's nobody texting you a sarcastic comment while you're elbow deep in mud, trying to fix a busted valve. It's peace. I don't know if I'll date again. Not yet. Right now, I like this, just being. Not performing. Not proving. Just existing fully in my own skin. And if one day someone walks into my life again, I hope she brings more than a smile and a list of demands. I hope she knows what respect sounds like. I hope she listens. But if not, I'll be all right. I've already rebuilt once. And this time, I reinforced the foundation. Anyway, that's my story. Thanks for listening. I know it's long. I guess I had to get it out somewhere. Let me ask you, honestly, do you think I did the right thing? Was I too harsh? Or should I have seen it coming sooner? What would you have done in my shoes? Seriously, I'm curious.